Hi guys, good morning to you all. How are you? We're working on the class coming up here, so it's a little crazy around here. Thanks, you. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh. Well, I hope this morning finds you all better than yesterday, and living in the now as much as possible, and in working yourself out of trouble and getting yourself well. Having the great opportunity of meeting a lot of you on Skype and over the phone and in person, and it just confirms my suspicion that you are beautiful souls out there with great hearts and suffering trying to get yourselves well. And I really appreciate that. I think on the first part of this video, I need to address a couple of things, of course, and I want to go back to our tremendous YouTube site that those great beings put together to further this cause. I want to give you my heartfelt thank you, and you guys are definitely the practitioners of the world. Jennifer was telling me, however, that there's been some antagonism, some people on there really giving other people hard times and things, and you know what's funny with those that do that, and if you're one of those that are out there just trying to throw monkey wrenches or be antagonistic, remember karma, because this is going to come back on you and you're going to have to eat it. You know, and when you're dealing with spiritual beings like on this channel, the karma is swifter and harder. I can just tell you. Not as an egotistical statement, but I can just tell you I've been there and experienced the whiplash of some of that, and you just don't want to go there. Just if you're not happy with the way we do things and you don't believe what we do and you don't like it, well then please trot on down the road and go somewhere else till you're ready to get to this level of understanding. It doesn't hurt our feelings. I'm trying to create a very educational, healing, and loving site so we can bond together. Those that are trying to disrupt all that are channels for the negative forces always. There's no question to have questions and to say, I don't believe what you're saying and things. I'm okay with that. I don't really care. Because this is just my experiences in 40 years of working with people and what we're seeing. And you got to remember, we've been suppressed for a lot of years by the powers that be, particularly the American Medical Association, and they're still out trying to sue people. You know, and their karma's coming back, and it's going to be a real hard one on them because they've gone beyond what you really should have gone beyond in terms of allowing all life to have their space. So for those that are creating that antagonism, please settle down, go somewhere else. We don't care. But that YouTube site is an incredible site. People are just trying to understand and get well. And you know, even all of you, we're all working from different levels of perspectives. Some of you are just getting your feet wet at this level. Some of you have been raw and trying to dig deeper. And so we're all working together with our heads together as buddies to work this out, because we have serious genetic problems right now and very serious lymphatic problems. And a lot of you are discovering what we're talking about is true right on. Talked to Sweden last night. Young man finding out, you know, the truth of it all. And he's in research with microorganisms and other things, and he's just finding out the other side of this. And that's important that we understand that, because I think what's important is experiences. Not theories, experiences. What works? What do we see in clinical practice where when a client comes in with these problems, what do we see as the end result? And that's the key. How we get to the end result, of course, in our area is called detoxification, because our concept of what causes all the problems in man lies in chemistry and physics. And of course, you can dig into the etheric and the spiritual side of this. And there's a lot of people that are so constipated, they're angry or upset, or, you know, they're opinionated. And this is the problem with the human consciousness. You don't see it with the animals so much. There are, you know, as the animals go, you'll start to see the ego develop in different animals in different levels as you get closer, or I don't know how to say that, but you'll see more of the id being developed. And then you'll see those little attitudes like you see in your dogs and things like this, you know. But I think that at this level, this is a very low level of creation. The higher you get into the spiritual heavens, the less you see this, because if you look at a pendulum that's hanging down, that's swinging, we're down at the lower swing of the pendulum. It's why you see so much negative people out there. They thrive on negativity. They thrive on sucking energy out of people. Some of them are walk-ins. Some of them, I know some people don't want to hear these things, but let me tell you, you can be used by others, obviously, in ways you don't even know. You see that physically a lot, but some of you don't realize this also happens in other areas of life that you have no awareness of, because your consciousness is fixated on material objects, and in the material world, you don't know when some being sits with you and starts influencing your ability to be yourself. And so we see this where those that have passed hang around hooked to some people that are still here trying to keep with the experiences. You'll see that. Very subtle and hard for those, some people to understand when they have different entities that are following them around or attaching themselves so they can enjoy the physical experience without having a physical body. And I don't care whether you believe that or not, ask many psychics and you'll see that this thing exists. And I've seen it, a lot of people have seen it. And I'm just saying that be strong in yourself, know yourself, try not to be antagonistic, use love, respect, humility. These are great aspects. We're here to change this world, not to sit there and do what everybody else is doing and argue amongst each other. We have to put things in their proper places. And if you're working at a lower level, then either stay there or develop your ability to work at higher levels. This is ever-increasing, ever-expansing awareness and an awakening process of not only who you are, but the interaction you have with all of life. Because when you're working with someone else, you're working with yourself. You actually cannot work outside of yourself. You might see that being separate, and you might be pounding people like those that are antagonistic on YouTube, but you're really beating yourself up. You're the ones not being full of joy. You're the ones suffering, and that's your karma unconsciously. So just open your hearts and be happy, and if you don't like the sites, okay, we don't care. This site's for those that are serious-minded, those that want to be practitioners, those that want to be spiritual beings and change the world around them and themselves, even though this is all about you. Always, 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 always. The world that changes around you changes because you change. So this is all about yourself and your awareness of who you really are and how you seek to get those bodies you're using healthy so your experiences in creation are more fun, more exciting, more nirvanic, more ecstasy, more joy. If I plucked you out of off this planet and put you in a spiritual city that was lined with jewel fences and the flowers and plants were emanating like pulsating jewels of light, you would see. It would change you like that. And I think that's worthy of you working for, to have these conscious experiences. Some of you already feel it and know it inside. And keep developing your ability to be consciously aware in any given moment. And that means control of the mind. Those of you that don't have control of the mind, this is what the mind's doing to you. It's allowing you to slip in and be disruptive to those that want to get and grow beyond that. So I suggest, for everybody's happiness that keep it, is it kind? Is it true? And is it necessary? Those are the three criteria I kind of keep in the back of my mind when I'm talking to others. Is what I'm about to say kind? Is it true, mostly? And is it really necessary? And you'll see that, sometimes I have to come here and do some videos that I think that are necessary. I try to make it as kind as I can, and definitely it's true. Because why waste your time with things that are theories and things that are half-truths? We've done too much of that already, and it's led us down these roads of control by others who are more intellectual and have set themselves up as power freaks. And this is why people that are antagonistic to others and that get down on others and argue so much, they're power freaks. They don't realize it's their narcissistic view. They're me, me, me. And that me has got to fade away and become the big me. The little me becomes the big me, and the big me sees that all life is one. And so when you're looking at a plant or a flower or a beautiful animal or a beautiful person, you're looking at yourself. You're looking at a part of all life. And I think it's vital to see that and to work with some higher levels of thinking. But you guys on YouTube, you are a blessing to this planet. You keep it up. You keep working with others. Those that are antagonistic, blow them off. We don't need that sort of thing. We're here to bring the power. And if someone shakes you off your center, then get yourself right back and use that as a lesson. That the people shake me off of my center still, and I still try to bring myself back as quick as I can. So I keep trying not to allow that to happen. There are times where it's going to happen, and you know, those are not the nicest of times. But there are times that's just, you cannot always be positive and perfect. There are those that are going to rattle your cage, and they love rattling your cage. Keep that in mind. People feed off of that. You got those sharks out there that feed on antagonism and hurting others and things like this, and those are the real karma makers for themselves. And all I have to say, if you knew that you have to pay for everything you create, and that includes the good, the bad, and the ugly, you would be very cautious of what you create. Let me tell you, because no one suffers more than yourself. All right. So YouTubers, you go, keep going. I love you guys, every one of you. You are rocking and rolling. The beauty of having groups around the world, we are going to show these souls on this planet that they need to lift their heads up out of the sand, because everyone's suffering, and including the power freaks. All right. With that said, I was going over a case here with Kim. And I wanted to, Kim, I've got your protocol ready for you, but I wanted to, there's a couple of comments you've said here, and I really wanted to address this because I thought it would be good information for everybody. This poor soul has suffered, of course. They've done the same thing. Have given her all kinds of chemical medications for different issues that she's had. And she's been on antibiotics for a lifetime, and this is just the insanity of what's going on. This is what you guys don't, I think you probably do, but the importance of what we're doing here for man in every way is important, and a lot of you are doing it. We're talking about the raw bros out there and stuff. You know, all of you guys that are teaching others how to be raw and how to grow spiritually, you're part of a huge effort, and there's so many spiritual beings in physical bodies and out of physical bodies that are here now working with everyone at all levels, even in your subtle consciousness where you're unaware of. And so, just becoming more aware, you'll start seeing more spiritual beings working with you. If not, you'll see these little things happening to you. They go, oh, there must be someone, a guardian angel on my shoulder. And right now, there's a lot going on here because the negative forces are out of balance. And we need to bring that positive in and bring a balance, even though it's still creation. To do that, though, one has to pull themselves outside of creation and realize that this is just the movies, the experiences for the Supreme One. Now,